Hey guys, I just got back from being out in the garden for a little bit and I harvested a lot of food. I am beyond excited with the amount of food I've got going on here. And I literally just harvested probably about 2 or so days ago. We went out of town for a couple days and today after work I went out to take a look at what all I've got going on, and there is so much food. So I thought I'd show you what I just harvested. So I've got a massive amount of jalapenos, and I'm not sure that I've ever gotten my jalapenos to get so large. And you can just like smell the pepper smell coming off of them. I'm thinking about maybe coring some of the bigger ones out and stuffing them, maybe throwing them on the grill, something like that. I thought that'd be kind of fun. Otherwise, I'm probably gonna prep a massive amount of jalapeno poppers and just use them fresh as well. I actually have a bunch of bell peppers outside, but I've been letting them mostly go because I want to get some red peppers. But this one was just kind of hanging. It's super hard, it's super large, and I didn't want it to break the plant, so I pulled that one in. I've got my first 3 Fresnos of the year. These are hotter than jalapenos, but the two mixed together make a really great cowboy candy. I've got my first poblano of the year. I also have a bunch of serranos. I grew a serrano last year, but not from seed. I had a started plant that was stunted that someone gave me for free, so I decided to give it a try. So after I liked them, I went ahead and bought some seeds, and I have 2 plants going, and these serranos look lovely. They're very close to jalapeno, so there may potentially be some mix up here, but I think I can tell mostly by the color, the shape, and the cap. Oh, look, serrano. I'm still getting green beans just churning out. I am overwhelmed with green beans, so I think I finally need to blanch these and freeze them. I harvested 4 cucumbers. These things grow so quick. I never like to let my cucumbers go too long. I think they get kind of bitter, especially in the heat. So I usually harvest them a little smaller, but 2 days and here's about the size I like to harvest. 2 days of not being home to harvest and cucumbers are out of control. I lost one of my zucchini plants so far. I'm surprised the other ones haven't gone either. I did pull this one off of the plant that is mostly dead because I just wanted to save it. I also harvested a really large zucchini today, but I usually give those to my grandmother because she likes to grate the large ones up and make zucchini bread, and she dropped off some zucchini bread she made out of zucchini from my garden. I've got a massive amount of cherry tomatoes, all of the different varieties that I grew. Such a colorful, fun experiment. I will most likely continue to grow cherry tomatoes like this. I tend to use those a lot more than the other kinds, and the colors are so inviting to me that it makes me eat them more. I even have a couple tiny spoon tomatoes I pulled off to ripen inside, and then look at my slicers. So most of these large ones are Cherokee purple tomatoes. I always pull mine off the vine earlier than I should because as soon as that ethylene gas is in the tomato, it will ripen inside, and then this helps me protect it from potential pests or additional rainfall or heat causing more stress marks or cracking, like this one here. Oh, is really large, but look at all of the stress and cracking in it. This is from raining super heavily for a couple days and then getting really hot. Kind of causes the tomato to I can't think of the word, constrict, something like that. So yeah, it ends up kind of cracking, and I got a couple blemishes like that. But otherwise, I mean, these tomatoes, if I just cut off the impacted area, they'll be fine. And I always store them upside down like this because that is how you prevent blossom end rot or prevent them molding in your house, by keeping the bottom up. I got a Robeson tomato too, and I got a couple Dr. Witch's yellows. This one, it's funny because this half is like super ready, whereas this one is not. This is a cap face tomato, so it looks like it's a fasciated blossom, and it looks like one side's ready and the other's not. Oh, do you want to try, Emma? I also wanted to show you, I had to go out and cut a bunch of my flowers because when you cut your flowers, it sort of sends signals to shoot up more blooms and makes them bigger, fuller plants. My zinnias had so many blossoms. Some Rebecca, I did a yarrow, some cosmos. I've got some Gerber daisies here, some snapdragons, and my first dahlia. It looks really rough because of the heat, and it's also not cut exactly where you should cut one, but it had two other blooms coming up. So I'm going to wait for them to start opening, and then I'm going to cut this whole stalk back. And look at this. This is my queen lime. Isn't she beautiful? I don't like how tiny she is compared to the rest, but those colors, I am here for it. Also, just to show you volume of tomatoes, these are the ones I picked previously. So I've got this entire bowl full of cherry tomatoes and a couple slicers, and I just picked a bunch more. So I'm gonna have my hands full. Thanks for watching.